They do not care about your university life, baby. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Galebohalegote, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we have a very exciting video, especially for the tech community. So you know what, let's not even waste any time. Let's get right into it. Yeah, let's get right into it. I just want to send a very special shout out to Sarah Lee. She is a creator as well on YouTube. Most of what I'm going to say and do in this video stems a lot from her video where she also explains how she got her software engineer internship at Amazon. So yeah, everything I say will be on the basis of her video as well as my experience of everything, right? So yeah, I suggest watching both videos, my video and her video, because there might be some things that she explains well and there might be some things that I explain like well, obviously because we're also in two different countries. But shout out to her. I love that video so much. I watched it so many times, and I think it's one of the reasons why I can say today that I am an intern at Amazon. Like, yeah. Okay, let's go for real now. So first things first, let me give you my timeline of like how everything went down, right? Okay, but before I give you a timeline, let me just give you like a brief overview of everything pertaining to the internship. So Amazon has positions for software development engineers, right? And it's a 3-month internship program based in Cape Town, South Africa, and it's open all year, if I'm not mistaken, because it was open when I applied. It's still open now as today is the 8th of March when I'm recording this. So yeah guys, I'll also have the link to the application page in the description of this video. So yes, timeline. So I applied on the 2nd of December 2024, right? When I applied, guys, shame, I was so damn bad in life, but I was like, by the grace of God, if it's meant for me, it will be mine. And yeah, so I applied on the 2nd of December 2024. I got my online assessment offer. So they replied to me by saying, oh, congratulations, this is your offer, on the 5th of December 2024. Can I also say that like everything was quite quick when it comes to like my application process and all of that. It was very quick. So when I applied, they asked for a couple of things. My favorite thing is that they don't want your transcript. They do not care about your university life, baby. They don't care who you are in uni. They couldn't be bothered. They don't ask about your transcript. All they want is your CV. And one thing I can tell you about your CV, yeah, it has to be, I think it's ATS approved, or okay, let me look it up real quick for you and give you the proper terminology for this. It has to be ATS friendly, and ATS friendly basically means as a resume that is formatted in a way that can be easily scanned by an applicant tracking system. It just makes life easier for everyone, for you, the applicant, and for the system that, I don't know if they use an ATS system, but it's just better to have an ATS friendly CV. And then I will put a link to like a template of an ATS friendly CV. Also from Sarah Lee, guys, I love her so much. She did so much for my journey when it comes to like applying for Amazon, and I'm so grateful for her. So yeah, make sure that your CV is ATS friendly. And for students, make sure you mentioned like the main, not the main things that you did, but like highlight the main modules that you had, especially in your computer science class, because all they want is like the absolute basics. They don't want you to have like crazy experience or anything. Like, I don't even have crazy experience. This is my first what can I say, tech-based job. So they really don't want much from you, right? At this stage. cool. So I got my online assessment offer on the 5th of December, and they give you 15 days to complete that. And that's exactly what I did. I took 15 days to actually complete the thing. And so I completed my online assessment on the 20th of December. I got my interview invite on the 7th of Jan. So from the 20th until the 7th, I heard nothing from them. Although in retrospect, like, it's not that like huge of a gap, but the waiting killed me so much. But you know what's the other thing I did, and I'm so proud of myself, is that I prepared myself for the interview. As much as I didn't know that I was going to get the interview, I prepared for the interview. I did a lot when it comes to preparing for the interview. We'll get into that later into the video. And then my actual interview was on the 7th of January 2025. You know what's the exciting parts of this timeline? Is that I had my interview on the 16th of January and I got my offer on the 17th of January. So the very next day, they were like, babe, we want you. Like, that was so exciting because I didn't even expect it. And I'm grateful for that. So let's get into each stage and phase of the process. Okay, so the online assessment itself, it's broken down into two parts. Yeah, so you have the technical question and the behavioral section of the online assessment. So with the technical questions, you have two technical questions. This is where now they test if like you know your basics when it comes to programming, right? I think for me, when it comes to preparing for the online assessment, so in UCT, we have something called a Z course. A Z course is like a competency test that also tests if you're able to like do the absolute basics when it comes to programming. It's a 3-hour test where you're in a lab, a computer lab, and they give you two questions, one mathematical, one string manipulation based. And yeah, you need to be able to complete the question in totality, one question in totality, without any faults, without anything like that. When I say that was the most daunting thing of second year, wow. But the fact that I was able to do it gave me so much confidence when it comes to doing the OA, because this wasn't my first time doing the OA, because I applied before, but I wasn't very serious. I really wasn't very serious, but this time I was gunning for the win. So yeah, the online assessment has a technical section. So what I used also to prepare was HackerRank, right? And lead code questions. They are very much closely related to HackerRank because that's also like the platform that they use to be able to like assess you in the technical side of things. Yeah, so preparing for that and preparing for this was very, very, very similar. I think UCT students that have done the OA and the Z course will like, what can I say, corroborate what I'm saying. So yeah, I did a lot of that, one each and every single day, because I knew what I wanted. Yo guys, when I told the people in TikTok that hunger made me do it, I was so serious. Like, I was so real. Like, I really wanted this. So I put my all when it comes to preparing, because I am not the most confident person when it comes to the degree that I'm doing, because I usually get like imposter syndrome. So I just felt like just doing a little every day will get me there, and that's exactly what I did. And then when it comes to the behavioral part of the online assessment, they're just basically testing the 16 leadership principles. If you're someone that wants to get into Amazon and if you don't know what leadership principles are, I suggest start now learning them, what they are, what they mean, and how you can apply them. And also be true to yourself as well. So how you answer the questions has to make sense. So if they ask you like in terms of like, are you a person that likes to work in a group, or are you more of like a I'll do it myself kind of person, it has to make sense. Like there has to be cohesive. Yes, cohesive. It has to be cohesive, right? Because I feel like a lot of what it means to be SDE is like working with people and like being like a consistent person. I remember this last first week that I did, I was speaking to one of my seniors, and it's like he said that when it comes to doing your internship, it's not really it is what you do, but most of what you do is how you do it. How do you work well? How do you work in a team? Because it's not just you. You have to like complete certain components so that other people can do their job. So yeah, it's things like that. So when it comes to the behavioral part, I say learn the 16 leadership principles front and back, and learn how to apply them when it comes to being an SDE. Cool. So with the online assessment now, you kind of, especially the technical parts, you kind of already know how you did, because HackerRank shows you, like, so you write code and then that code is run through testing, and then after the test, like, the tests tell you that it passed, or like, oh no, your code was too slow, so like make it more efficient, right? So you kind of know how it works. So I passed both tests when it comes to the online assessment. So let's say I kind of already know that I was going to get the interview. Yeah, I kind of already had a hunch that I was going to get the interview. So before getting like actual confirmation that I'm getting the interview, I prepared for the interview. The interview also has two parts to it. The behavioral part, which now takes up most of the interview, and then you have a technical side as well, which takes up, I can say, the last 20 minutes of the interview, right? So the behavioral part, they give you a lot of resources, like Amazon itself, they give you a lot of resources to prepare after they tell you, okay, you're doing an interview. But one thing I can say I watched a lot of YouTube videos like this one. And it was like kind of sad to see that not none, but it was very hard to find South African content, which like broke my heart a little. But this is why I'm doing this one. So yeah, when it comes to preparing for the interview, I just gathered so much information from the different creators that went through the interview, and that helped so much. One thing I can say about my interview, that interview was what? Well, according to me, it was not nice. It was not nice. I remember my mom was in the other room and she could hear most of what I was saying. I remember she was saying that 20 minutes into the interview, she wished that she could like just walk into the room and give me a hug, because she was like, my baby, you're going through it. There was a point where like I think I just froze for like a good 5 minutes. And then my interviewer was like, no, don't worry, babe. Let's move on to like the next question. So yeah, it was really hard. But so here's one thing, right? My interviewer really didn't care about like my school life and my assessments and what I did. And here's the one thing that I feel like really made me stood out, right? Bear with me. So in December of 2024, I took it upon myself to learn about APIs and containerization, specifically with Docker, because I want to get into back-end engineering, right? So I took upon a course that I found on YouTube. I don't know if I'll find the link, because and I had it starred, but I don't know if I'll find it. If I will, I'll include it in the description. It was like a boot camp of some sort, where it taught you everything, like from start to finish, when it comes to like creating your own API, learning how to work with Docker. And that's something that is way outside of school scope, right? And that's majority of what I spoke about in my interview, because once I realized that my interviewer had no interest when it came to my school life, that's where I was like, okay, let's go for this one. And you know what? I feel like it really did the trick, because the moment I started talking about it, my interviewer was so invested, so invested. They wanted to know more, like, oh, so what did you do when like you faced a problem or couldn't go ahead? Like, where did you? I was like, oh no, I have a somewhat mentor, right? A seasoned mentor when it comes to like a software engineer as well. So I would say yes, I contact that person, although they have a busy schedule. I asked some of my friends from school that I work closely with when it comes to like developing personal projects. So like they just really wanted to know more, like, what did you learn? How did that make you feel? Like going outside of your school scope to learn something. I was like, I know where I want to go. So that was like my goal. And given the fact that I know that I'll be in final year in 2025, I really had to get the ball rolling in terms of like, what do I do outside of school? And that's what I feel like as a computer science degree, in a nutshell. You really have to like do things outside of your school scope, because schools just gives you the basis. It really just gives you the basics, and that's just really it. So yeah, that's what I feel like made me stand out when it comes to the interview process. But the beginning was absolute hell. I wanted to be out of there. There was a point where I wanted to tell my interviewer that, hey dude, let's just wrap this up, let's just call it a day, I'm tired. But I just kept going, and I'm so proud of myself that I did. And yeah, like looking back, I'm like, wow, well done, well done. So yeah, and I think that's why I got the offer the very next day. I remember I was just chilling, not chilling, I was doing my makeup. I was like, being that girl that I am, because that's what I do mostly when I'm home. My makeup, because there's not much to do. I'm just doing my makeup, learning new things, and then I just randomly checked my email, and I got the "you got the job" email. I was like, ah! Yeah, everyone was excited. Yeah, and that's just my journey when it comes to like getting into Amazon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So a bit more on the interview process, right? Uh it's advisable to prepare, but I think because I thought they would ask me like, yeah, sure, you will never know what questions they ask you, but because I prepared a set of questions and how I work my way around it, that's what kind of like frustrated me in the interview, that like, dude, you're not asking me, or you're not taking in the responses that I had. So like it made me glitch a bit. So go into it as authentic as possible. That's what I can give you, because as much as, yes, my experience made me stand out in terms of like what I did, go into it as authentic as possible. Go into it knowing that, yes, this is what you want to do, and this is what you've done in the past, or this is what you've been working in. It makes it easy for you to conversate with your interviewer, right? It makes it really, really easy for you to be able to get through it. And I feel like that is one thing that differentiates my experience with Sarah's, because with her, I was looking back at a video again, that she practiced her questions and answers on a mirror time and time again, and like she like did a lot of preparing and all of that. But with me, I did that, but that was kind of like I said, what made me frustrated. And so speaking about my journey organically and what I've been doing that December helped, So yeah, I feel like really it's very different for everyone at this point. That's why I'm saying I really hate hearing this from other people, but be you. Be you, Sana, be you. It helps most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't. Finesse your way around. You can, I believe you can. But be you, and never stop trying, because like I said, this was my second time applying for the internship. I didn't get it the first time because I failed the OA dismally. But like I said, I didn't prepare. But I think once you get through the OA, the interview's not easier, but like somewhat easier. And the technical part of the interview is very much like easier than the OA, because in the technical they just give you like a notepad, right, where you have to like write code that sorts something or that searches for something. So that's why going through your basic algorithms, and yeah, your basic algorithms help. But if you could pass the OA, I feel like the technical side of the interview is easier, because what they just wanting to assess is that, were you really the person that did the OA, if you know what I mean. So yeah, they just want to see you code in person and how you think. So yeah, how you think about code, and like, do you consider time complexity, do you consider the bounds, yeah, they just want to know how you think and see you, and that's just really it. I really hope I didn't oversimplify this, but like I said, some things that I didn't explain well, she might have explained better. Yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it informative. Stay tuned for my first week in the life of an Amazon SDE intern. It's coming up very, very soon. Very soon. So yeah, stay tuned for more, because obviously I'll be posting more about my experience, my journey, what I learned, the do's and don'ts. It's gonna be a fun time. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.